Boston. It began with a gentle dusting, a flutter of flakes falling on this city, already enduring a bitterly cold winter. "This isn't bad," said Richie Bianchino, 30, after he parked his car Thursday at a covered mass transit garage. He was wearing a hoodie and no gloves. "We've just had a bunch of days near zero. This feels good." The peaceful start didn't last. As the day wore on, the mammoth winter storm churning up the East Coast had pummeled Boston with driving snow and painful sleet as it continued marching north, sweeping across population center after population center. As much as 14 inches fell in Greater Boston on Thursday, leaving more than 24,000 without power by late afternoon as the storm caused what officials called a historic high tide to flood coastal towns. The storm dumped more than a foot of snow in areas from Virginia to New Hampshire, swamping millions with a 1-2-3 punch of heavy snowfall, gusting winds, and coastal flooding. All across the Northeast, routines of daily life were brought to a standstill Thursday as schools and offices shut down, roadways were left impassable, and nearly 5,000 flights were grounded. Hundreds of flights scheduled for Friday were called off as well. Historic bomb cyclone unleashes blizzard conditions from coastal Virginia to New England. Frigid air to follow. In New England, officials worried not only about the snow, but also the wind gusts topping 40 mph at Boston's airport and reaching as high as 76 mph on Nantucket that brought down power lines, leaving people without heat or power before the temperatures are forecast to plummet on Friday and into the weekend. A region already weary of the cold, the high temperature has not been above freezing since Christmas, will now face at least a couple days below zero. After the storm's over, the Commonwealth will immediately see a return to the bitter cold temperatures of the past few days, which will cause freezing conditions on top of the storm, Gov. Charlie Baker, R., said at a briefing Thursday. "We're all hardy New Englanders, but it's pretty important for everybody to pay attention and be prepared." The storm strengthened Thursday into a bomb cyclone, the dramatic name for what happens when a storm's pressure plummets as it explosively intensifies. Though forecasters said this storm was among the most powerful ever observed on the East Coast, much of the cyclone actually remained in the Atlantic Ocean as it lashed the coastal states. After the snow has moved out of New England by Friday, Arctic air will descend upon the eastern seaboard, plunging temperatures into the single digits and teens in the mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and New England. A cold trio of number photographs from a frozen Maryland. Number brrrpic.twitter.com/amheyqueitfm. When the flakes fell in the Northeast on Thursday, a day after southern states got an unusual coating of snow, some welcomed the sight. In New York, while flights were suspended at both LaGuardia and John F. Kennedy International airports, the Times Square area was clogged with snow as wind whipped the flakes across the bright electronic billboards looming overhead. Tourists still showed up, taking selfies and throwing snowballs despite the harsh conditions.